honestly, Becca, you said that this was going to be the last time, or this was going to be the last drink. You've already downed 5 tequila shots. And here goes Becca, but I'm not even drunk. Like, what are you saying? Hello, my beautiful angels. How are you guys today? Thank you for hanging out with me. As you guys can see from this title, we are going to talk about toxic friendships. We're going to identify what makes a toxic friendship versus identifying what a healthy friendship dynamic is. So before we dive into that, I want you guys to follow me on Instagram if you have not already. That will be right here. And also do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Tell your friends, tell your sister, tell your aunt, tell your cousins, whomever, and let's see if honestly we can get this video to 2,000 likes. That would mean a lot to me. And I don't want to ramble on too much, so let's get right into the video. I want to firstly say that friendships fundamentally do require flexibility. I mean, they require a variety of things, but for the most part, definitely flexibility. So firstly, let's identify what makes a healthy friendship dynamic. Honesty, of course, is definitely number one. If you don't have honesty, you don't have trust, which is another healthy dynamic. Trust is absolutely huge in the dynamic of a friendship or any form of relationship because fundamentally, no one really thrives or feels emotionally stable when they feel like they cannot trust anyone. Compassion. I think compassion is definitely major because you genuinely want someone that is going to be there for you. If you just broke up with your boyfriend and you kind of just wish you had someone to talk to, and you obviously want to feel comfortable enough to bring that to your girlfriend's attention or your guy friend, if that's the dynamic, and they will genuinely be there for you and be compassionate of and understanding of your situation and sort of comfort you in your emotional state. Now, here is a major one that I don't think many people really realize is a very important aspect of having a healthy dynamic, but it's actually independence. Independence is a huge part of having a healthy dynamic. And the older that you become, this also goes into what I meant when I said that friendships require flexibility, because as you grow older, circumstances change, you get jobs, you may have boyfriends, fiancés, husband, who knows what life will bring. You'll all be at a different stage and you never know what's going to happen. Independence. Yes, independence is very, very fundamental when it comes to a healthy dynamic in a friendship. Here's why. Because having your own hobbies and being your genuine own person outside of another being, whether that be a friendship or a romantic relationship, is essential so that you don't become clingy and codependent on someone. And when that happens, we'll dive into that when we talk about the negative aspects or the toxic aspects of a friendship. You guys are going to see why. But independence and being your own person is a part of a healthy dynamic. You should feel free to have that, to make a new friend maybe, and still it doesn't threaten the dynamic of you and your best friend. You should be able to go to that kickboxing class instead of hanging out with your friend and she wants to instead maybe watch movies or maybe go shopping instead. These are healthy things to have your own interests. Maybe you like reading in your spare time or exercising, and maybe your friend likes to paint her nails and paint, but neither should conflict, or neither party should feel upset because their friend wants to do something different. And again, the older that you become, you will understand this dynamic a lot better. I'm also going to add that positivity is essential in a healthy dynamic of a friendship, because no one wants to be around a negative Nancy every 5 seconds where you only go to that friend when you're having an issue. Because why? Misery loves company, and you know that, she's always miserable over there, so she's just the person you want to be around only when you're sad. Start paying attention to the people that you reach out to only when you are in some sort of distress state or you're in some sort of drama and you're reaching out to a specific person. And it's not because you probably can't reach out to your other friends, but it's more than likely because you know that this person is going to feed into it and hate life with you and be negative with you and be jaded at that moment with you. Be careful of people that are like that, because that's not a healthy dynamic. If everyone's always running to the girl that's always gossipy and sad when they're in that same predicament, that says a lot. And lastly, I would also add that a part of a healthy dynamic is reliability. We all want to feel like we can rely on someone, and obviously our best friend. We want to feel supported in any of our endeavors, whether that be some sort of, promotion that we got on our job, or, an A that we got on a test that we studied hard for, or maybe an A on a test that we didn't study hard for. We just want to feel supported and feel like no matter what circumstances are thrown our way, that person is going to be in our corner. That person, we can call them no matter what time of the night, and they're going to stay up and listen to us, or they will meet us no matter what time it is of the night. They will be there for us. So these are very, very fundamental things in a healthy friendship dynamic. So with that being said, let's dive into a toxic friendship dynamic. For one, lying. Lying is not good no matter what the dynamic is. Lying, obviously, you can't trust someone who lies, and it's difficult, especially when you're close to someone who is a pathological liar and they just have some sort of issue, obviously, and some sort of cognitive dissonance from reality, and that's why they choose to constantly lie over and over again. Or maybe you have a friend that drinks too much, and every time you say, honestly, Becca, you said that this was going to be the last time, or this was going to be the last drink. You've already downed 5 tequila shots. And here goes Becca, but I'm not even drunk. Like, what are you saying? Honestly, I'm fine. I will just drive home. And here you go. You have to take up the slack because you know she cannot drive home. And you're not going to let her drive home because you're the good friend. And she's lying to you, lying to herself. She's unreliable. You can't trust liars because, first of all, like I always say, if a liar tells you that he or she isn't lying, he or she is lying. Listen to that again. Manipulating. Wow. I talked about this in one of my recent videos. Let's say that you just want to start leveling up your life and being different and transforming yourself. And let's say your friends are manipulating you by using the demonizing tactic and making you feel guilty for wanting something better or wanting something different, and isolating you because they feel like you think you're better than them because you don't want to do the same things that they want to do anymore. That is not a healthy person to be around. Instead of focusing on yourself and what it is that you want to do and something that makes you happy, you're being manipulated into coming down back to that level that you were trying to reach from, and your friends are making you feel bad about it. Jealousy. Okay, jealousy to me goes hand in hand with also codependency. And codependency also is known as clinginess. So some people in friendships are territorial. Now, I understand to some degree, everyone has a little territorialness over their best friend or their friend group, but to a healthy degree, if I may, arguably a healthy degree. But when it's an issue, if you are talking to anyone at all, trust me, there are people out there that are like this, where your friend is giving you an attitude because you went to dinner with Stacy on Thursday, and now it's to the point where you're uncomfortable mentioning any other plans you have because you know that she's gonna get upset at you for doing something without her. Or she plays the trick of not speaking to you because she feels like, oh, well, I guess you don't need me anymore since you want to go hang out with your other friends. that is also manipulation, and that's also jealousy, because she feels like, okay, you're my friend, you shouldn't have any other friends. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have any other friends. I shouldn't have any other activities or any other happenings in my life besides just the dynamic that we share. How is that fair? And that person is putting a strain on the relationship, as well as stressing you out, because you always have to worry about coddling their feelings when you're your own person. Be very careful of people like that. Jealousy comes in many forms. So I want to point this out there. There's actually a difference between jealousy and envy. Now, I should whip out my phone to really actually Google this, but I'm going to try and go off the top of my head. I believe that jealousy is the fear of losing someone. And envy is wanting something that someone has, whether that be their lifestyle, their clothes, their car, their boyfriend, anything of that nature. So in a friendship dynamic, if your friend is jealous over you, she's afraid of losing you to someone else because she's doesn't have a healthy mindset. And this honestly goes deep into her own childhood or his own childhood extensively at the root, where they don't know how to let go of things. They don't know how to let go of people. They feel like they have to have reins and a say-so over that person, that dynamic, that relationship. And then if you have a friend that is envious of you, they will do anything to get what you have. So if you are talking to a guy, and next thing you know, you guys stop talking and your friend all of a sudden is talking to him and then tries to make you feel bad. Like, what? You guys only honestly talked for like a week. Like, obviously he didn't even like you anyway. That's why he's with me. That is very unhealthy. That's an unhealthy dynamic in a friendship, because honestly, boyfriends, guys that you've talked to, are pretty much off limits. And not even to quote Gretchen Wieners, but that is literally like the rules of feminism. Like, you cannot go talk to Aaron Samuels. Like, you just can't. It's just not right. Okay? There are too many men in the world to have to feel compelled to talk to anyone your friend has talked to or anything of that nature. I mean, of course, different things are circumstantial. If your friend genuinely feels okay that you can talk to that person, then who am I to say anything? But fundamentally, you want to stay out of sticky situations like that, period. And you also want to watch out with friends that do things like that to you, to other people as well. Backstabbing. We've all experienced someone in our lives that have backstabbed us, and you get so offended because you think, I would never do this to you, so why are you doing this to me? I mean, I don't even really need to go into deep detail why backstabbing is unhealthy and toxic in a friendship dynamic. And I think from any relational perspective, how we are with our friends and how we treat our relationships, period, says a lot for how we will be in our relationships. Because to me, there has to be some sort of correlation. Because let's say you are codependent on your friends, more than likely you're going to be codependent in a relationship with your significant other as well. Because how you are in relationships, period, across the line is just unhealthy. You're a very jealous person. You're very territorial. Oh, in a relationship with your significant other, you always think that every girl wants your man. You are that girl. Girl, nobody wants your man. Calm down. Settle down. Some girls are really like that. I know we've all experienced girls that are just like always giving an attitude because they think that somebody wants their man. And it's just like, LOL. Try again. So even again, when it comes to demonizing you, meaning making you feel so bad for not doing what they said, just always making you feel like you have to be the savior in the relationship. You always have to reach out to them to see how they're doing because, well, they're not going to mention anything. You always have to check on them to see how they're doing because if you don't, then you just won't hear from them and they're just going to get an attitude. You really want to be careful of dynamics like that because it is not healthy. And inevitably, they're giving you a silent ultimatum. You either do exactly what I say and what requires to be my friend, or I just won't talk to you. And then you just start to feel this like pull on your spirit and just in general where you just don't want to deal with that. It's just a lot easier to just let that person go. Let that person think whatever they want to think. You know that you're a good person. You know that you don't have to have someone pulling the strings on how you live your life. No one should be able to dictate how you're living your life when they're the ones making you stressed out and unhappy. Do you understand? Lack of compassion. Understandably so. You break up with your boyfriend. You can't even talk to your own friend about it because they're saying, honestly, why would he stay with you anyway? Like no offense, but he did say he likes smaller girls and you are definitely not that. Like, you totally gained a lot of weight being in that relationship. So, like, I don't really know what to tell you. And honestly, I'm tired of hearing about this. So, I don't know, like, maybe you should see a therapist. You know, like, listen to their responses when you genuinely do need them. There are certain people in life that do take advantage and they are constantly, oh my God, crying over their boyfriend that's always cheating on them. I'm not talking about that dynamic, okay? I'm simply generalizing, talking about a healthy sort of dynamic where you just got broken up with or you broke up with your boyfriend and you're struggling and you want your friend to simply just be there for you and have compassion for how you're feeling, and they're just adding wood to the fire instead, and you can just feel a coldness and a distance from them. And even so, sometimes certain friends will be glad that that happened to you because now, well, they get you back all to themselves, or now they can go after the guy that you were talking to. Whoa, yes, because there are those too. Negative friends, yes. You don't want to be around anyone that's always negative every 5 seconds. Their mentality is just so morphed. It's such a drag to be around them. And you always have to kind of alter what you're going to invite them to, who you're going to bring them around, because you don't want them to bring down the vibe. Sabotaging friends. Yeah, you have friends that'll sabotage you, okay? You go out and you tell your friend, okay, so tonight, Chris is totally gonna be there, so make sure that I do not go over 2 drinks because last time I got wasted and I totally made myself look like an idiot. And then here goes your sabotaging friend. No, of course, I got you, girl. Like, I got your back. 5 tequila shots later, you're staggering out of the club by security and your friend is literally Snapchatting you. Oh my God, like, why does she always get like this? Like, she is so wild. Like, she totally told me to not let her go over a certain drink maximum, but like, I can't stop how she is. Like, we're responsible for ourselves. Like, I'm not her mother. Like, I get it. You're not her mother, but you can tell that if your friend really likes someone, just be a good friend and really actually stop them from doing that. Because, you know, in all honesty, I'm pretty much betting, even though I don't even drink, that 5 tequila shots isn't really a good thing for anyone. So you have those sabotaging friends where they take center stage in your sabotage. You sabotaging yourself. They take center stage in your self-sabotaging. They will allow you to take another drink. They will allow you to look stupid. They won't tell you if something is, you know, messed up in your clothes, or maybe they will. And they always say the most embarrassing things at the wrong moment. You're in front of a cute guy, you're flirting, your friend comes along. Oh, you have tissue on the bottom of your shoe. I totally was trying to get your attention before, but like, you couldn't hear me. Like, really? Or you're talking to a guy and instead of just doing like a little silent signal, like, here she goes. Girl, you literally have the biggest piece of broccoli on your tooth right now. Like, what is that? Like, it's all over your tooth. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm sorry. She's so embarrassing. Like, what is up with that? Pay attention to friends that do things like that. Show you up, trying to show that they're better. They're the responsible friend. They're the more put together one. Be careful. Very toxic, unhealthy. And then those people that play those roles in a weird twist of fate like to be the shoulder to cry on, so you can just tell them all your problems as they literally start plotting your demise. They want to rip you apart, wreck you. Oh, I'm such a mess. And be like, I know, honey. Like, I know. It's just, you're just going through a lot. You guys understand what I'm saying. You know those types of friends. And actually, speaking of that, that goes hand in hand with unreliability. You told her that you did not want to drink that much because you wanted to be able to have a legitimate conversation with the guy that you like. And you were completely incapable of doing that, because instead of your friend stopping you, she was just actually enabling you, yelling, shot, 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 shots, everybody. What? That is definitely not your friend. Too many times, especially we as women, we accept the dynamic of a frenemy. The friend that's always making the rude joke at us, like making fun of our bodies or making fun of the people that we date, just saying really rude comments to us and then trying to act like they're still our friend and they want what's best for us. Be careful of that type of dynamic. And these people always show themselves, and you kind of know the feeling, but you probably ignore it, and that's the issue. I've experienced it myself, where one time I was friends with this girl a long time ago. She was very jealous of me. I think I posted a story time about it too. And she said to me one time, I don't get the knight in shining armor like you always do, so I don't have the option of dating good-looking people like you. She actually said that to me. And at the time, I felt bad, you know, but then I realized as we got older that her obsession with me was so severe. She really broke down when she realized that she literally just couldn't be me. And I'm not being funny when I say this either. I'm being very serious. She couldn't be me, and she couldn't understand my life and how I was and my personality and how I was able to achieve the things that I did. So she wanted to attack me in different ways, saying, oh, you're lazy and you have no work ethic and all of these things. And, you know, simply because she had nothing else to talk about me with, because I was a genuine good friend to her. So, yeah. And lastly, I'm gonna say an obvious toxic friend is someone that is very gossipy. Yes, here or there, we have our friends where we may like mention something to our friends like, oh my God, girl, did you see her shoes? Like, what are those? Ah! But then you know the difference between the friend that is always gossiping. Always. They have something to say about everyone. And kind of in the back of your mind, you sort of think to yourself, dang, are they kind of talking about me too? Yes, her. Gossiping Gabby. I see you. You have friends like that where they're always talking about someone else. And honestly, psychologically, these people are very insecure. So they're paying attention and hyper-focusing on everyone else's flaws and happenings in their life keeps them from thinking about themselves and their own miserable reality. Right? So they're constantly going to gossip because their life is very unfulfilling. And quite honestly, everyone else's is just much more interesting to talk about, and kind of scratches an itch for them where they don't really feel that much alone because they are always so interested in all the negativity that's happening in everyone else's life. We all have witnessed friends and people that are like that, where all they do is gossip all day long. And what do they say? If they gossip to you, they'll gossip about you. Stay away from people that are always in drama. Every 5 seconds, they want to tell you, okay, so like I'm not even trying to start anything, but like I overheard in the bathroom in 6th period that Tiffany was totally talking about you to Katie. And I mean, they totally don't know that I was in there, but they were just saying like, oh, like what was she wearing today? Like she always thinks that she's better than everyone. She like tries to dress up like she's going somewhere. Like, pay attention attention to friends that are always telling you every negative thing that was said about you. How is that your friend? It's one thing if someone was trying to harm you, but I don't want to hear every single thing, every single negative thing that somebody's saying about me. I don't want to hear it. What purpose is it going to serve? More than likely, I already know the dynamic between me and that person that was speaking about me. If it's not going to harm my life, it's not making my life better or worse in any way, I don't need to know what they are saying about me every 5 seconds. And you have friends that are like that. They like giving you the bad news that was said about you. Why is that? Pay attention to friends that are always the go-to gossip person. Because first of all, the actual real question here is, why do people feel comfortable talking to someone that I call my friend, my best friend, about me or around me? Why do people feel comfortable bringing things up about me to you? I really want these things to marinate with you ladies. This honestly goes for women of all ages. And understand that never is it okay to raise your tolerance for any of these negative behaviors. I don't care if you've known this person for 30 years. What you've been doing essentially is tolerating 30 years of nonsensical nonsense. That's what you've been doing. And you're more than likely to do it too with the guy that you're seeing. So understand it from that perspective. And you'll learn that certain people are just not meant to be in your life. Some people are in your life for a season. Some people are in your life for a reason. It's a lesson or a blessing. That's what it is. No hard feelings of any sort. It's just that you have to do what is healthy for yourself and for your sanity. And you cannot compromise that and reduce yourself so that you can be better for them when they're not even doing anything to be better for themselves, because that's why they have all these issues. So with that being said, you guys already know to thumbs up this video, okay, if you have not already. So it lets me know that you guys really like seeing more content like this. And also, if you haven't in the beginning, also subscribe to this channel, turn on your post notifications so that you're notified every single time that I post. Okay, my angels, I love you and God loves you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah.